That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important. You take the starch out of them, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped. Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with? Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through ground. 2 biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though. Are you pulling my leg? Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call... Yep, Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing. A few years before her ship. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we... Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself. Glad to help. Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either. They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just... They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them. Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering. Happy to help. That's... All right. He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison. They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every... Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that... You sure you didn't just step off one of the interstellar freighters? There's no working with the board. They don't share, not bits, people, or resources. You work for them, or Groundbreaker cooperating now would be tantamount to joining their ranks, and we sure as shit ain't about to do that. It's a delicate balance, right? We could cancel their freighters' docking privileges in retaliation, but where'd that lead us? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together...
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we make do all right. So far, anyway. Sure thing. The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly. Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the... I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right. You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreaker's not the most hot... Be seeing you.
That appears to be impossible.
Carry on.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures register to find out which crew ship... Scholar shipped in and out.
The other day it was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this Chris said his name was Grant.
Huh?
Hi there. Haven't seen you around before. What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today? This is the security desk, sir. If you're here to report a crime, you'll want to talk to Commandant Sunita. I'm not so good at filing. Mix up first name and surname. Folks are liable to start taking your... We can't just let anyone walk in here. I wouldn't be... Maybe if you clear an open bounty and get in good with Commandant Sunita, or help Chief Tennyson fix this heat. All right. Sure, and stuff from outside the system too, off the interstellar freighters. That's why we also have so many... That'd be awful weird, on account of you should be locked up... All right. Less than there used to be. Fewer freighters passing. Search me? I mean, don't search me. I reckon you'd...
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't... Got a hot one for you. Captain Gunnar McRed. Just 26 hours old. The posting, that is. Not the criminal. Allegations include several counts of flying under the influence, carrying open alcoholic containers, failure to pay... Swerving in the air was more like it. Then he crashed hard into the dock and tumbled out of his ship and fled on foot. Spilled Rizzo's Violet Spectrum vodka all over Officer Hartley. An affront of its own, considering none of us are approved for anything higher than green spectrum. Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You want the reward? Do the legwork. You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head. Or his lucky lighter, as proof of kill. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Good luck. Do I look like your gossipy best friend? While I'm on post, I take my duties real serious. I would have no qualms whatsoever. Then get to business or get moving. We're the security force here on Groundbreaker. The original force was made up of a Marine detachment from the 77th Marine Expedition. Folks started calling us Mardettes because it was easier to say.
Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts.
Do you know what's
Lots of
happening on Terra One?
unsavory types.
Last I heard, the board was in dispute with a renegade company. Sounded nice. Even the air costs money.
Are you listening to me, Emfuru? You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene. I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene? See, Emfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jesse in the first place. Let me get one thing straight. Jesse and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors. Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy, I'll be impressed. Good luck getting to Jesse, and better luck if you do. It's a real piece of work.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for it. Have you seen this man? Reward offered. Have you seen this man? Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board.
Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king. Look at this, time to...
Speaking...
You came with... You stumbled into my court without an invitation, neighbor.
Never anger a man of the cloth.
Hey there, you mind stepping back? This charming little ship's been impounded and I'm afraid I can't let you near it till I'd surely love to, but that's just not my bailiwick. You'll want to have words with... I ain't felt so much...
Either way, let's not stick around so long we all roast alive. No offense, Miss Elson, I'm sure whatever...
Whew. I'm starting to feel like a sisty roast in all this armor. Gosh, I wouldn't dream of it. No. Have yourself a...
No one saw me trip over there, right?
Rizzo's mock apple cider.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter cat? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery. I'm expecting our delivery fellow to stop through with medical supplies and service auto mechanical. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. You look out, though. A place... Keep hanging around and I'll begin to think you're here for me. What can I do for you? You have...
You're sure this is perfectly safe? I'd rather not die early of an infectious disease myself.
You hull-headed quacks do know that restful recuperation requires What? Why? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need for her to be worrying her pretty... I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Criminy. She really ain't gonna drop... Alright, okay. We can discuss it. Seems I've got to do something before Ellie goes jabbering my business to anyone with one...
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it. You, ain't with the board, are you? Udon Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you can square things for... What? No, I didn't do anything. Think? No, I recognize a contracted killer when I see one, thank you. In my line of work, that's a skill you... All right, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the blood tier diamond, last worn by an air... If I had, you think I'd be hiding out in the med bay? I was gonna steal it, lined up udon. Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the... Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udom's deposit. Thanks for helping me with the board. You're a real... Or I guess I should say, Ellie.
Any word on Jesse? Good luck. The board's got an office on the promenade just before engineering. You can't miss it.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? What? I'm sorry? I'm quite certain I heard Wells. Phineas Wells. But you... It's always like this with you tramp freighter captains.
Captain, stop pulling the man's leg.
Well, at least one of you is capable of showing appropriate deference to a man of my standing.
I recant my earlier statement. Mr. Bedford deserves what he gets.
I've met circus sprats possessed of better manners. Fine. You're free to go. I've removed the impound order on your ship. But before you go, I did have one request. Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist. That's... well, that's just terrible news. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional. It's personal business, I'm afraid. Miserably, terribly personal. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. It's... It's fine, really. It's perfect. Now, if you've nothing else, please see yourself out. Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only collateral she has is her organs. Compulsory donation is quite legal in such cases. That's not unreasonable. What guarantee do I have that she'll agree to the terms you negotiate? You might be surprised. But we'll proceed on the assumption she'll be reasonable. I will recall my collection agent. Tell Miss Doyle to report to me promptly for her first assignment. Now, is there anything else you need, or can I return to my work? Be my guest. A luxury stateroom, reserved for Chairman Rockwell. Oh, good law, of course not. He'd never set foot on this decrepit junk pile.
Law, but it's miserable. My underarms are... Chief Tennyson is supposedly looking into the cause, but I've seen no action from him. Deplorable conduct. My superiors will...
I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I'm their... I have few complaints.
Oh, you've noticed my friends. Wonderful. Aren't their guns very loud? They're here to keep the peace, of course. Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status, and so resents any... When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yeah. Oh, good law! Who'd want to go to that toxic hell pit? No. Emphatically no. Unequivocally no. Immutably no. Best to be clear, I believe. Ask away.
As always, I am anything.
Wish I could say it was good to see you, Ellie. At least you finally got your chance to square our debt.
The good news came through the wireless. Looks like you paid my debt to Jesse. I guess that means I owe you now, right? Tell you what, I'm a little short on bits at the moment, but I'm a decent scrapper and a better-than-average sawbones. If you're looking for a medic, I can work my debt off. If I'm being honest, and I prefer not to, I was about ready to pick up another contract anyway, and you settled this in a pretty tidy fashion, which tells me you're competent. But we can say I'm repaying the favor if you prefer that version. You won't be sorry. Or if you are, just add it to my debt and we'll figure something out.
Dr. Fenhill, glad you opted to join us. It'll be good to have a Sawbones on the crew.
Something on your mind? I'm a surgeon by training and a pirate by inclination. Not much else to know, Captain. I like long walks on the promenade and the smell of Spacer's Corona. I make a mean zero-G cocktail and I've got a meaner right hook. It's a mix of whatever you've got on hand. Usually zero-G brew with some Spectrum vodka if you're lucky, purple berry shake if you're not. I'll make you one sometime. If you don't enjoy it, I'll make a few more until you do. Sure do. Some of it was even legal. There's a lot of business that goes through the Groundbreaker. Some of it's board-authorized freight hauling, and some of it's not. I've done all types of work with all kinds of crews. If there's one thing you ought to know about me, it's that I won't tell you your business. Your ship, your way. Glad to hear it. It's worked for me this long. Well, my blood type is AB positive. I'm a Leo, and I despise Space Hospital. Never mind what anyone else tries to tell you. That about covers it. Aw, come on. That stuff's boring. Look, the thing I've learned about living in close quarters is that you've got to give people room to breathe. I'm all for making a few bits together and having fun doing it, but let's keep a little professional distance. No complaints here.
Got word from Udom, from the hitman who trailed me the other night. Seems I'm indentured to the board now. I ain't too elated about going exclusive. You sure saved my skin, stranger. All debts between me and Ellie are cleared.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information needed. Beneath Wells, report any sightings to your local port embassy.
Who there? Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away. Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Yum, yum. Time to feed the flames. It's nothing personal. Promise.
Burning to death is one of the most painful ways to go, just in case you needed a reason to get us out of this.
Speaking for myself, Captain, I am not of a mind to be murdered by a psychopath who plays with fire.
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty of space to spread out, but only room for one captain. Woo! Look at the courage on this one! Lay it on me, boss. Give me a taste of that fiery primal spirit. Listen to the fire of those convictions. This one's hungry for justice. Alive or dead? Rare or medium? What's it gonna be? How do you want me cooked, bounty hunter?
Watch out, Captain.
The strong survive and the weak perish.
Watch a pro at work!
We lost one!
Did I hear something?
Incoming.
You're dead!
Never anger a man of the cloth.
Practicing this!
that?
What was that?
What was that?
I whipped your leg. Haven't seen any new faces down here since I arrived. Not sure how long. That's too bad. I mean, he was a scary fucker, total pyromaniac. I'll get back to my post. See.
Can you imagine being frozen for 10 years, sailing through space in a room such as this?
If they didn't want to tempt us, why'd they lock it up?
Does everyone get branded when they join McRed's crew?
Nope. Your ass is a
That's the last of him. watching Junlei on a bad day.
My thoughts exactly.
Tossball finals are scheduled to air soon, but a scandal has rocked the league and thrown this pivotal game.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors. Good for you. Hope you scared some sense into those bureaucrats giving you trouble. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's how I like it here. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's... Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going, most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard. Dr. Fenhill, I hope you've reconsidered my offer to stay on full-time. My crew are never short on dents and bruises.
I'm trying to live a more balanced life. Gun in one hand, scalpel in the other.
I already knew it'd be easier to teach an automech heart surgery than to change your mind. Fair travels, Ellie.
Groundbreaker's a small town in a big ship, and anyone who spends any time here gets to know June.
We don't see a lot of competent surgeons on Groundbreaker. Dr. Fenhill is my on-again, off-again freelancer. I take it she'll be joining your crew full-time?
I don't like to put a label on things. Let's keep it casual.
If you ever decide to settle down, there's a home for you on Groundbreaker. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated... Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon, the board isn't helping and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone aboard, will be cooked alive. Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. I keep diligent records of station repairs, requisitions, and available assets. The station's radiators haven't changed since her time. Hold on. There's something you should know before you go charging off. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repair. Speak your mind. Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of... Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way... Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gang. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died. It was different knowing that I couldn't turn to anyone who could answer the tough... Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. It's got tinkerings and bypasses that don't... You see any bite-sized Tennyson children running around? I didn't think so. The next captain won't have my heritage. I'll have to foster that talent from somewhere. It's only a question of when. I hope that was a joke, Captain. I really do. I gelded that thing years ago. Now it brews a stim that goes down stronger than Nan or Spank. You've got my attention. You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and power, and they only get it by I like to think of myself as a nice person, but if that gaudy embassy of his was on fire, I might hold my breath a moment. The board wants control over Groundbreaker, and leeches like Udom Bedford will... I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the docking fees, and too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction. The ship's grown... Frustrating. Plus You've got...
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regular...
I can take a hint.
Now we can move on to cleaner pastures.
Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled...
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight... More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing you can't handle. We were salvaging parts...
The controls are in the back of the machinery stack area. Good news, Strong held security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news, diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Sneak fast if you can. Shoot back.
Make him regret.
on our
performing it. Unable. Adjusting. System. Security patrol.
Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you thanks.
If you're hungry, you've come to the right place. I've got a fresh They're terrified to lock in the juices. Fresh from the grinder, any hour.
Is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regular...
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's guts. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the whole... Cozy-like, ain't it? That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's, the Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space but didn't change the stock engines.
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board certified.
Fly-by-wire's pretty normal. Or leastways, that's what I read in the trades. Hello! I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad...
Speech recognition is one of the many skills.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile.
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with plasma torches. You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with the plasma.
Good luck, Captain.
How goes the hunt? I've been ruminating on it, and I decided, if you ain't killed, nothing excessive, mind you, but the scoundrel deserves... I believe I'm growing fond of you, bounty hunter. If you got the Mardets backs, Here's the bounty payout. Nice work down there. With any luck, we can hire more sharp-eyed bounty hunters like you in the future. With that bastard McRed dead, there ain't much else.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt.
I was doing some maintenance on the radiators and found this lying around. You look like you need it more than I do.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry. Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention.
Groundbreaker's safe from melting to bits now. Lots of good people can rest easy because of you. That's on account of how I never met her. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sort of. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Well, I didn't expect her to be so tall. And did you see the size of her arms? What? No. Maybe? I don't... It's like somebody reached into my head and pulled out what I didn't know I wanted. You know how hard it is to find anybody who likes working with tools in a little town like Edgewater? I just met her. How could I be? Alls I know is, I want to talk with her more. Did you see how everybody on Groundbreaker listens to Junlei? She's calm and...
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regular...
C&P chicken and potatoes. At
My dad taught me stuff about omelets and fromage. I didn't take a look at that journal.
You see
By
me
all
out?
means. I would be astounded, yet astronomically in your debt.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing at all about eggs and sheep.
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts? I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book... I honestly don't know what I'd do. This quest has consumed me for the better part of my life. What about you? And how did he do that? Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. Let's pretend for the moment I believe you. What do you... That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you? Oh, I see. You ha-
How good my sugar cookies are. Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought. Want a charming copper kettle? If you're here... Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits... Phineas, that old kook. He was quite the dancer back in his prime, did he tell you? Real light in the wallet, too. He still owes me a small fortune. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out, but... Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. Can't say I know for sure.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing. You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. Here's a copy of the SOS recording complete. If you should find a secret worth selling, the more we got the corps fighting each other. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. Anytime. Gracious. Yes, dearie? Take that dog. Shouldn't... What are you... That's right, dearie. The only though for how long, I can't. The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will. Go right ahead, sweetheart. Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I also need throw pills.
I'm not sure that's entirely legal.
That's half the reason I make them, my dear. But that's not what you wanted to talk about, is it, dear? Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the monsters on Monarch desperate to go. Because that's what the board tells them, you see. I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look bad to the rest of the colony. Those board folk are real prideful-like. Never want you look... But old Gladys knows the score. The whole... That's why we gotta keep them from... Probably. Everyone claims he's transmitting from Anytime, sweetheart.
Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged in a heated discussion in the kitchen.
Hey, Captain. So, she said... I don't... Oh. Thanks. Maybe for you. I start thinking about all the things she could say and my guts start crawling up my throat. I'm full serious. Next time we're on the Groundbreaker, I aim to get a drink. If I got to, I'll do it on my lonesome. But I'd feel better if someone I trusted was there. Sometimes I wonder about Mr. Hawthorne. What was he like? Why'd he make the computer a top?
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Yes, Captain. Beginning playback now.
There's viscera and death everywhere. Gunfire, gnashing teeth. The unemployed. For law's sake, if anyone's received... What? No!
Captain, we are now capable of accessing the Roseway landing pad. Also, corporate protocol requires that all distress signals include a list of key personnel for retrieval. The embedded names are Forgive me, Captain. I would rather not discuss Alex Hawthorne today. Was there another topic on your mind? No, I am sure I cannot feel emotions. The memory has merely disrupted It was my fault he died. I should have predicted the statistical unlikeliness of success of my captain's action. He asked me to trust him. Captain Hawthorne attached 98.4% of the ship's processes to my computer. I have been programmed to deftly calculate navigation vectors through asteroid. Alex also taught me the concept of a personality. He was quite delighted when I crafted one in order to better engage with him. The information in my memory banks says I am an autonomous digital astrogator, created by, redacted, on the date of, redacted. I have not yet decided if I should attempt to uncover the missing information regarding my birth. I asked once. Alex did not build me, and wouldn't. How can I be of assistance? May We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
I need a word. This Roseway business smells. Something tells me things didn't end well for the guy who made the distress call. And whoever or... Just a little caution. Could be a reason no one's picked up this job yet. They don't give medical degrees to dummies, Captain. Anyway, we might as well take a look out there, see if we can get the job. Something on your... No security. Not that I'm complaining.
Chewed up and spit out. What sort of creature, other than humans, would be so wasteful?
Please, clear the roadway. Obstruction of progress is